What's up, people, and welcome to our brand new live stream podcast show called The E. The Mandem are inside, myself, WrestleManiac. Who else we got?
Anarfi. It's been a long time, man. Like, obviously, we've been speaking about trying to do a WRESTHINGS WWE podcast. And we're finally here, man. Start of the year, right? Give you guys all and everything you need to hear WWE. Like, we've tackled indies, we've had indie takers, we've tackled AEW with Revolution Radio. It's only right that we do it with WWE. So yeah, man, we're here for the long run.
Yeah, so we will be here. We're a tad late today, just getting started, but we will be here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. So, you know, you're getting like a bite size, it's almost like a micro podcast, just to kind of top you up on everything that's happened from the weekend, SmackDown into Raw, and any other news stories and stuff. Got any questions? Put them in the chat. Hashtag the E, and we'll answer all the questions towards the end of the show. But yes, as our good friend Jimmy says in the chat, big up Jimmy, nice and early, legit, just dedicated to the E. So yeah, this is going to be a weekly thing. And we were blessed this week because we had said, yeah, this is the week we're starting it, but we didn't know we were going to have the great news of The Rock returning, and not just The Rock returning, but, you know, almost starting a program with the head of the table, Roman Reigns, mentioning he wants to sit at the head of the table. And, you know, everyone's been running wild since, thinking about, well, what's next for? Is this going to be WrestleMania? Is this going to be Elimination Chamber? Is this going to get in the way of Cody Rhodes and any other, you know, story that might be on the road to WrestleMania? Anarfi, when you obviously watched the show, saw the reactions, what was your first thoughts of The Rock returning, and then obviously teasing this match with Roman Reigns?
Okay, I'll be dead honest. My first initial thoughts were, we are screwed. And I don't think, I think people of wrestlings are screwed because the ticket prices for WWE, for WrestleMania this year in April, skyrocketed even more. They've gone higher because The Rock has showed up again. So, but yeah, besides that, it's exciting times, man. Exciting times. We've had CM Punk return and The Rock return in the space of 3 months. So that's good. And we're getting closer to what we wanted last year, which is The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Obviously, he teased a little bits here and there, but we're nearly there. I'll say one thing I would say is this: I feel like some of the stuff he was saying were a bit dated in terms of the promo he was cutting was a bit dated. But it's The Rock, man. I love him, so I can't forget that.
He was showing his arm when he came out and the music hit and the crowds went wild. He was showing his arm to the camera, showing the goosebumps, and the goosebumps are real. You can feel it. Like, this is someone that we've all kind of watched and adored to some extent, you know, from our childhoods. But yeah, you're 100% right. The promo was I think it's the worst kind of speaking dialogue I've seen him do. I do think that's because so earlier on in the night, there was a tag match, Kofi Kingston, Jey Uso versus Imperium. Match got cut short because Kofi collapsed.
That was peak.
Vinci, drop kick straight to the head. His head landed straight on the mat. Maybe like a knockout concussion situation. Hopefully he's good. So maybe The Rock and Jinder had longer to fill here because that match got cut short. And it was a bit rambly. Jinder went for way too long. The Rock went for way too long on Jinder. And then the whole segment ended up being 21 minutes long. But we got to the punch of it in the end. After the cussing, after the people's elbow, we got to the punch, which was The Rock wants to sit at the head of the table. And we've seen Roman Reigns reply with a laughing emoji. Now, I guess the next conversation I'll bring to you is that the debate, should this happen at WrestleMania? Should this happen at Elimination Chamber? What's the implications of happening at either? What's your thoughts?
Immediately when I saw it, I just said to myself, this is to sell tickets for Elimination Chamber for sure. We're going to see The Rock at Elimination Chamber because I don't feel like, unless they do a thing where it's like Roman works both nights and he's doing night 1, night 2. But from what I'm seeing, the angle they're trying to go down is probably do Rock and Roman at Elimination Chamber. After that, in the same pay-per-view, we're probably going to have Cody Rhodes in the number 1's contenders match. He wins that match at Elimination Chamber, and that's how we get to eventually Roman versus Cody. But if it was to get to Mania, I wouldn't mind it. Night one, get it over and done with, done. But the only thing that's going to have a problem with is CM Punk, because CM Punk obviously wants the main event slot with Seth, which I wouldn't mind either. But yeah, I would definitely going to get The Rock versus Roman at Perth Elimination Chamber for sure. Have you seen the stadium?
Yeah. It's a big stadium. I think it's bigger than Philadelphia WrestleMania. Where
Yeah, it is. That stadium, that Philadelphia stadium is not even that big, bro. I can't lie.
I think the capacity in Perth is like 10 to 20,000 seats more.
Yeah.
So, I've literally dubbed this as WrestleMania Down Under.
Yeah.
That is what this is. You can't put The Rock on a card in a headline spot in this day and age against another big main eventer in Roman Reigns and call this a B pay-per-view. No, you cannot. And, Roman Reigns is as a massive star. I think people are underplaying because obviously now you're in there with The Rock. People will forget. Roman Reigns has main evented more WrestleManias than The Rock can ever lie. It's absolutely crazy. So there's a lot of Australians right now saying that they're happy it's Australia, they're gonna be there, but ultimately this is a WrestleMania match. And for me, I'm happy. I'm happy now. I wasn't happy this morning. I definitely wasn't happy this morning, but I've kind of contextualized it all. And I think, The Rock has beaten Lesnar, John Cena. In January at Royal Rumble, he probably beats Randy Orton. And then if he goes on to beat The Rock in February at Elimination Chamber,
he's Thanos.
He has, bruv. And then imagine what that means for Cody when Cody beats Thanos.
That's another level. That's a whole new... That's a whole new thing for him.
And that's why I think it's actually more important for this to happen at Elimination Chamber than WrestleMania. Unless they were doing a deal of Roman beats The Rock on night one and then Cody wins on night two against Roman. It gets a bit convoluted. It's cheating other people out of that main event slot and stuff. There's no need for it. Let's make these other events feel big as well. The Rock returning, he's laid the gauntlet out. I can only imagine I don't know if Roman's on SmackDown this week, but I can only imagine he no-sells it.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely gonna no-sell it. He's definitely gonna come and go. Like probably even say something like a little line like, "I heard that someone was in town, but I wasn't around." You know how Roman is. Someone was in town, but I wasn't around. But yeah, I'm here for. I think from now, we're getting to WrestleMania season, right? And we're going to be getting stuff like this every now and then. Even to the point where, I'm waiting for Cody to finish the story with Shinsuke so we can see what Cody's going to say about all of this. The Rock cut getting involved. Roman Reigns just being there, not doing anything. I'm waiting for that moment where Cody's like, it's now time to finish the story.
Yeah.
After Elimination Chamber. So, yeah.
I've kind of lined this up in my head. This is where Elimination Chamber is the punctuation of the bloodline story, the bloodline and the family kind of related stuff. And then WrestleMania will be the punctuation on the title. And, hopefully we see the titles change in hands there. In the same breath, though, I think if Roman does not face Cody or beats Cody at WrestleMania, we can't be angry as fans. Because if we're happy for this match to happen at Elimination Chamber, there's no God-given right Cody gets to win at WrestleMania. We might have to make down the line a SummerSlam feel special by giving Cody the win there. You see what I mean? Yeah. So, it's very interesting. I didn't really know or give a thought to who the WWE returning superstar was going to be.
I knew it was The Rock. You knew it was The Rock. Because I think before going to sleep, there was a picture that was... I think there was a picture, or even I saw a video of The Rock in this TV studio. It said The Rock is hours away from where Monday Night Raw is in San Diego today. So when I saw that, and I just put two and two together, former champion, it's The Rock. Do you know what I mean? It's The Rock. Who else could it have been? Unless they wanted to bring back Batista. But if they bring back Batista, it's what is he gonna? Do you know what I mean? But as soon as I saw The Rock's face, I just knew he was gonna be there.
Yeah, I think San Diego is his neck of the woods anyway. resides over there, maybe. But yeah, I think it's very interesting. It's a very big bang to start the year, and yeah, we'll see how that develops. Moving on into what else we got on this show, the big main event. Drew McIntyre was again challenging Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. We saw the interruption of Damian Priest during this match, and Drew McIntyre wasn't going to let Damian Priest kind of rain on his parade, got rid of him. And then Drew McIntyre thought he had the win after a Claymore to Rollins. Rollins, I don't know how he does it. I remember a match back in the day, Pac versus Rollins. I can't remember if there was a title on the line or not, but the same thing. Pac rolled up. I say Pac. Neville rolled up Rollins, and Rollins' leg was on the rope. Like, it's just really good.
That was sick, though. That was sick, yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Drew McIntyre thought he had Rollins. I thought it was done. I'm sure a lot of people thought it was done. And yeah, leg was on the rope, and Rollins lived to fight another day, eventually kicked out, and then hit him with a stomp to get the win. And Drew McIntyre, I think the story that they're telling here is that he's costed. He's done it again. This is by his doing. Like the first time in Saudi Arabia, he took mercy on Seth. This time he wasn't kind of aware of his surroundings, and that's costed him. We know Drew McIntyre's contract is up, I believe, in April following WrestleMania. He is not winning this title anytime soon by the looks of it. It looks like they're setting up Seth to maybe hold this at least till Mania. What's your thoughts on Drew McIntyre and what the future may hold now?
Do you know what it is? It's not me, but it's not me that has a contract. It's not me that's a WWE superstar. But I would say that once Roman is free, and once the titles are free with Roman, I'm guessing there'll be more people to go and go up for that title. And Drew is one person I can see going up for that title. Whether he's going to win against Cody or not, who knows? But it opens space for people to go for it. But I don't know, man. If I'm for me personally speaking, if I'm going to see someone hold that title next, I'll probably have to be a Gunther or even a CM Punk. I think CM Punk should beat Seth at WrestleMania for that title.
CM Punk should beat. The only reason I don't think that's going to happen is because I think Seth, or what I've told myself is going to happen, what I've booked in my head, is that Seth Rollins is going to beat CM Punk for the title in the main event. And then maybe the next night on Raw, that's where Damian Priest cashes in and wins it.
I would have thought that it would have been a thing where it's like, obviously, I'm just guessing, innit? Maybe Judgment Day and CM Punk will be feud somewhere like before Mania, whatever. CM Punk beats Seth, he's in the ring, whatever. Damian Priest runs in and cashes in on CM Punk and wins the title there. Because every single time he tries to cash in on Seth, it's always gone wrong. Now that Seth hasn't got the title no more, he cashes on CM Punk. It's like, yeah, it's the perfect time. Let me get this title. Grabs it, and obviously they probably can be in a story together or whatnot. But I think that's the best way for Damian to get the title.
I slightly thought that was what was going to happen last night. That Drew was going to win it, and then Damian comes immediately and cashes in on him and takes it from Drew to make Drew's spiral continue. But yeah, we've got a multitude of things. Do you think by the end of the year, Drew McIntyre is still wrestling for WWE?
That's a tough one, boy. Yeah, I don't know. You never know what the future holds for these wrestlers, man. But I definitely still see him in WWE. I don't know where, if he does go AEW. Don't know if he were to go AEW, which is an option. I personally can't see him in AEW because I just feel like AEW don't really know how to like work around like bigger men like that. I don't know what's a big man you see in AEW that's done bits.
Probably Samoa Joe as champion right now.
But even Samoa Joe he's a big man, but he's not really like big as in like height.
Yeah. And stylistically, Samoa Joe, he is indie sort of thing. Stylistically. Yeah. Drew can do that style as well, but yeah, like you, just because of his physical stature, I can't. He doesn't look like an AEW guy.
No, he doesn't
that way. So
he doesn't.
Yeah. But yeah, I think.
What about you? Where'd you see him going? You see him?
I
You see
think
him staying?
I think he resigns and stays. Like you're saying, I think once Roman drops the title, goes for a break or whatever the case is, there's going to be a lot more movement, a lot more opportunity up and down the card. We've got 2 world titles, so I think that opportunity will make him stay. And as Roman used to say, he's my favorite number 2, Drew McIntyre. So Drew could ascend to that position, quote unquote, one of the faces of the company, once there's a bit more space. I think WWE is the right place for him, especially on the trajectory WWE's on right now.
Yeah, facts. I think WWE is the right place for everyone at the moment. Any superstar at the moment. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be biased or anywhere, but WWE seems like a place where people can go there and just do bits and have fun. Not saying definitely.
that. And the opener that we got on the show, Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. I don't know how much of this you've seen. Have you seen this match?
Also, yeah. I watched.
What was your thoughts?
Well, that match was hard hitting, man. It was what I expected. Like Nia Jax, she's something else, man. She's like a ball. Like she charges at you and she's like literally mashes you up. And the finish, the punch, and literally just I didn't even clock where the blood come from, innit? At the end, when I saw the blood in the mouth, I was like, "Ee." But yeah, man, it was a great match. I enjoyed it a lot. It was just nice seeing Nia Jax be the champion, innit? You know what I mean? And win. Because when they first entered the match, I thought, oh, maybe Becky Lynch is going to beat her up. Not beat her up, but beat her and win and get the pin. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a banger.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected this. I'm sure everyone expected Becky to get the win here.
Yeah.
At the same time, I remember Nia Jax in NXT, right? She was good. She was promising. She knew how to wrestle according to her size and all of that kind of stuff. And then things seemed to go downhill for her when she went to the main roster. Now, she has been, I would say, good since she's returned to WWE. To last night being, one of her better showings since she's returned. And for me, there's no doubting there's a correlation between who's in charge and her performances.
Yeah,
she was good in, like I say, NXT, which was in charge. Triple H now in charge, and she looks good again. Of course, the period where she was fired and went off or whatever, she could have, trained up and all of that kind of stuff.
Which she was training. I remember seeing her like on TikTok and Instagram. She was always training, whether it be Natalia's gym or her just being with someone else. Like she was always training. Like you could tell that she wanted to like make a difference. You know what I mean, even in her size as well. She's lost. She's trimmed down a bit as well.
She's lost weight.
It's nice, man.
Yeah. It was a very good match. Becky continues to be on this campaign to put people over, to give others a chance, give back. I don't think it harms her position at all. I'm still thinking we're probably going to get Becky versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, and probably maybe we get Nia versus Rhea at Australia Elimination Chamber, which will be a massive match. They're building up Nia quite well. Rhea is obviously a superstar. She had a win on the night as well against Ivy now in a great match. So yeah, I think the next couple of months is nicely coming together across all the divisions. We're gonna move over to SmackDown. If you're watching live and enjoying, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. And just so you know, this is also going to be available on the audio podcast as well. So WRESTHINGS isn't just on YouTube, if you didn't know. If you go onto your Spotify, if you go into your Apple Music and Apple Podcasts, you will also get the podcast dropping there as well. So you can listen on the go. Let's talk about SmackDown. This week, they've branded it as New Year's Revolution, which is really cool. We've got New Year's Revolution. We've got obviously New Year's Evil in NXT tonight as well.
Which is going to be a great show.
Which is going to be a great show. Dragunov versus Trick Williams. I'll be there. I'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
With SmackDown, we've got this triple threat match. Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus AJ Styles. The winner is going to get Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble, I believe.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to finish straight up between one of these three men? Do you think the bloodline will somehow get involved, making this maybe a fatal four-way, including Roman Reigns at the Rumble? What's your initial thoughts on the outcome?
I definitely feel that the bloodline is definitely going to get involved. How I imagine it at first, when I obviously saw this match, I imagined that Randy will be the winner. It'll be Randy versus Roman Reigns. But when you said that, it slightly makes sense. I don't know. I see Solo getting involved more time. Because I heard that Solo is now, they're looking to push Solo in a different direction or whatever. I don't know. Some sort of like, push whatever he's trying to get. So maybe he's like the fourth member or the third person or the fourth member in this match where he's in and he's trying to protect it from, what do you call it? And when it does get to the match, he's like, obviously just gets him over.
He tries to scatter everything.
Yeah. So I don't know. How, what about you?
I think if they're just gonna have a straight up triple threat match, Randy Orton probably wins. Randy Orton versus Roman's it's a really big match as well. For Royal Rumble, I think that'll be great for Roman CV. I think we're kind of going off in a direction where it will be AJ Styles versus LA Knight anyway.
Because them man are feuding. Them man are
AJ's feuding. Yeah, and if they have a singles match at Elimination Chamber, 60,000 people shouting, "Yeah!"
Epic.
I think it'll be cold. Yeah, and we need to. Not that I want to see this new iteration of AJ Styles getting losses or anything, but if the rumors are to be believed, and LA Knight is going to take on Logan Paul for the US title at Mania, we do need to start heating up LA Knight as well.
LA Knight,
He's taken a loss to Roman, which is understandable, but he needs to kind of bounce back. So he's ready for the threat of Logan Paul later on in the year. So yeah, I think Randy Orton wins, and I think that'll be a good decision, and I think the match is going to be very good.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
That goes.
Yeah, we'll see it.
The other thing that we left talking about after the last SmackDown, or the last live SmackDown, obviously the last show was like a clip show, was the vignette of Karrion Kross. He's cutting a promo. He makes reference to authors. Someone's going to write something or something about authors. We see the shadows of the Authors of Pain, Paul Ellering in the back. Are you looking forward to this faction? And apparently Authors of Pain have been re-signed to the company for however long. But this is them officially kind of coming out, being used again. You're looking forward to Karrion Kross being given like a bit of backup?
Do you know what it is? I really like Karrion Kross. I like him a lot. I like the character he is. I see the stuff in NXT. That's how I first got onto him through NXT, innit? I just hope that this works out. Like he's got one of the best one of my favorite managers from the 90s. I'll say Paul Ellering. He managed LOD, Legion of Doom. Sorry, Legion of Doom. I enjoyed when he managed him there. So him having Paul Ellering as well as Authors of Pain or this new faction, bro, he can't lose. He physically can't lose. Otherwise, the whole thing is just scatter. Like he needs to, you know what I mean? He needs to feed off these guys, and these guys need to go out and literally squash bare man, just beat people up, just beat literally steamroll the whole of the roster. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it needs to be done well. Just feed him with like these people I don't know, even if you just go rampage, just go on a rampage and just basically going from every single, because I'm guessing when these Authors of Pain guys come in, will probably be assigned to like a SmackDown maybe, or if they're free agents, that makes things even better because they can travel from each brand, right?
So because they've debuted, or they look like they're debuting with Karrion Kross, I guess they'll be on SmackDown. But because they're in the tag team division and the tag team belts are currently unified, I'm sure if they were to win the tag team belts, they could go anywhere they like. I'm excited to see Authors of Pain back. I think that period of NXT, takeovers and NXT tag division, like they showed they're a really, really good tag team. And I do think this is a bit of last chance saloon for Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross was immense in NXT. Whether you think this guy can wrestle in the ring or not, that's another conversation. But in terms of presentation and how he just felt when you're watching him, like he was immense in NXT, came onto the main roster as a gladiator, never really worked, got released from the company, came back. If you remember, he debuted in that segment with Drew and Roman when he came back.
With the clock.
I think just before Clash at the Castle
2
years ago now, 2022. And I thought, brilliant place to debut him, and he's done literally nothing since. Picked fights with Rey Mysterio, picked fights with AJ Styles, and has come to nothing. So he doesn't look anything like the man at NXT, both physically and physically imposingly. Like, I think this is his last chance to really show himself now as like a faction leader. If these guys can come together, run roughshod, because you know we're killing off the bloodline essentially. The bloodline won't be the next 3 to 4 months, I don't think. So there's place for factions and stuff on SmackDown. There's going to be more factions. You know, Legado del Fantasma have kind of come back in a new Lashley and Street Profits, whatever they are, you know, there's something. So there's definitely investment in factions relatively well. So they have to make this work. Otherwise, for Karrion Kross, although Triple H seems to like him, this may not be.
Yeah. Oh, I just hope it works out, man. I hope it works out. Like, I like the guy a lot. I like him a lot. So, yeah, man. We just have to see how things go, man. Well, I'm guessing they're probably going to even debut probably Friday. I'm guessing, right?
Friday. Yeah, probably at this kind of pay-per-view TV show thing. Yeah, it makes sense for them to. Well, they got a lot of eyes on it. So, yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense for them to. Cool. We're going to get into a segment that we're going to call the throwback, where we talk about one thing, you know, back in the day within WWE. You guys can join in too in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. It's only fitting that this week we talk about The Rock and The Rock moments. I'll start off with one of my favorite The Rock moments. It was that time when Chris Jericho debuted in the WWF. The promo he cut back and forth with Jericho. One of the lines that still cracked me up today was something along the lines of, "What, you think you're good because you wrestled some jabroni called Hooven Dude?"
Yeah,
that it still cracks me up. I think that's one of my best Rock moments. And then one of my favorite Rock matches will always be Rock versus Hogan at WrestleMania 18. Like a ridiculous match. What's yours?
I think I got two. So I think my favorite Rock moment is where he was backstage cutting a promo. I think it was before the Armageddon match, and he was basically mocking every single wrestler that was in that match. So he mocked Rikishi, Undertaker. I think it was that. And after another moment was where I think he was it was either a special. I think he was in a enforcer or he was like some sort of like referee. It was in a match between British Bulldog and someone else, and he done the people's over, but he slid.
Oh yeah,
and he done the people's over. And I think my favorite match, I got two favorite matches from The Rock. I think my favorite match here of The Rock here is The Rock versus Triple H Iron Man match, Judgment Day 2000. That's one of the best Iron Man matches I have watched from a kid. Going like, I would Iron Man match to my like close to me, innit? The second match I'll say is The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17. That match was great, epic match. Like, I obviously went into the match thinking The Rock was going to win. Stone Cold won, hit me with the steel. Is it WrestleMania 17? It's 17. Yeah, hit me with the steel chip. He joined forces with Vince McMahon as well. And crazy times. But I think that was two of my favorite matches, I'll say.
Yeah, The Rock's left us with a lot of moments and matches through his career. I'm trying to think of anything else that I really enjoyed of him, but those are always my go-tos. Like,
The Rock and The Rock and Booker T were fun times as well. The Rock during like the Invasion era was fun as well. It was a dream match for me personally because I've always saw The Rock and Booker T as like not equal, but like in terms of I'll say they're equal,
one in the same-ish.
Yeah, bro. Maybe because there's two black guys that are going at it, and I just thought it was that, man. But The Rock, he's I don't know. We saw what happened on Monday. Goosebumps everywhere. You could watch that from home. He had goosebumps himself, so he's a special someone, man, for sure.
100%. Yeah, I think just on my last thing, my favorite iteration of Rock was Hollywood Rock.
Really?
I thought Hollywood Rock was brilliant. Like, honestly, this was what 02 times 03. I just thought there's nothing better than that version of The Rock. I think maybe especially because I was older. By then, I was like, what, 12, 13, and you just kind of understand it a bit better, like, as well. I really enjoyed that. I know there was a bit of breaking news before we were coming on. We're due to start wrapping up. Like we said, guys, this is gonna be just a bit of like a bite-sized micro podcast to just top you up for all you lovers. Obviously, we still got the regular WRESTHINGS podcast and stuff, other content that'll come out during the week. But just before we came on, we're gonna leave this for tomorrow so we can talk about it with the rest of the guys at podcast. But what's your initial reactions to the news of Trinity, formerly known as Naomi, to return to the WWE?
It makes sense. It makes sense, bro. Like what's that saying? Is it there's water under the bridge? Water under the bridge? What's it?
Water under the bridge. Yeah.
Is it say the water under the bridge? Yeah, the water under the bridge is clear. So it's now time for her to re-enter, and that makes me think, cool. WWE have been doing very, very well with these surprises, these debuts. Like they've been doing very, very well. Like the CM Punk thing, they said, "Oh, CM Punk's not signing," blah blah blah. Then he turned up, and I think the same thing's gonna happen with Mercedes Moné. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't put me in it. If she does turn up, if she turns up, it's fine. But I think it's all a swerve. I think it's a swerve. I think it's a swerve.
I think what the dirt sheets are saying, by tomorrow when we watch Dynamite, we'll know whether it's a swerve or not, because they're expecting her to show up imminently. But at the same time, Hard to Kill is fairly soon, the Impact pay-per-view, or TNA now pay-per-view. So I think if we see Naomi drop the title, I think we could see her as soon as they, re-debuting or coming back in the Royal Rumble. She's been synonymous with a Royal Rumble entry off the back of injuries and long absences, and that's just how crazy the crowd go for her when she returns at the Rumble, and of course her Rumble spots like Kofi Kingston. So I think we could see her back as early as the Rumble, which would be great. But like I said, we'll leave the conversation so all the Mandem can chip in on it later this week. But yeah, that's the E for this week, man.
That's the E,
any last bits you want to throw in before we head out?
I'll just say for next week, obviously we just got back into it. This is not really a full week, I'll say, but as of next week, we'll probably literally recap everything plus Raw, which will be the day after has happened this week. I'm also obviously Andrade finishing up at AEW. I'm hearing that he just put up a tweet on Twitter. We'll probably even see him on Friday as well. But who knows, man? Like we're in the WrestleMania season, isn't it? So yeah, it's gonna be great.
This is to forget Christmas. This is truly the best time of the year.
Yeah, no facts. Do you want to ask a few questions before we go? Anyone got questions before we go?
Yeah, let's see what the comments are saying. If you have any questions, if you could do like a hashtag the E, just so it's easier to spot, please. I'm just gonna go from the last things we talked about. Glody here says The Rock versus Lesnar, SummerSlam 2002. That was a really good match. Put over Lesnar big in that one. Jimmy says, I've deeped most of The Rock's best matches are when he loses, which is true.
It's true.
We know that The Rock can be like an extravagant kind of seller and stuff as well. So that's true. Jimmy also says The Rock versus Hogan is actually cinema.
Yeah, epic.
Crazy match, man. Crazy match. Big up Laps. Laps says Damian Priest is definitely a transitional champion. The E will feed him to Gunther by SummerSlam, if not before. Maybe.
Feed him. Okay.
I mean, I would like to not make Damian Priest's first run one where he's just transitional. Although I don't think that would hurt him because he's a heel and he could probably get away with it. But yeah, I would like to think that he can, hang for a bit. Tremaine says here, Elimination Chamber is big enough venue for Rock and Reigns.
No, facts.
Like we were saying, the venue is actually bigger than where they're hosting WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is WrestleMania down under. Like literally, cool. I think that's most of it. Brand says here, Uncle was out of breath from a common ordinary rock bottom. My goat is done. This is even more reason why I don't think it should be at WrestleMania, because they're not going to give us a WrestleMania match. Like, so give us like, I don't know, like a 5-6 minute thing in Australia, and we keep it stepping, man.
But we're gonna. By the way,
Go on.
Australia's gonna be at 11 p.m. It's gonna be at 11 a.m.
Our time.
Yeah.
I thought someone was saying it was 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
So the pay-per-view starts at 11 a.m. So I checked online today. 11 a.m. and I'm sure probably like it might even start at 12. Obviously they have the pre-show and stuff like that. But yeah, 11 a.m. That is great.
Brother,
we can literally link up and watch that together.
You know what the thing is? No matter what the time is, we will be there.
We'll be there.
Of course, this works in our favor, being in London, in England. Big up Gloddy. He shouts out, he goes, who do you think will have a breakout year in 2024?
Trick Williams. Trick Williams is definitely gonna have a breakout year 2024. I also feel like Swerve is gonna have a breakout year in 2024 as well. I mean, when I mean breakout year, I mean as in a full year where we see Swerve literally taking over the whole of AEW, not just half of the year. He's in there, no off. Yeah, wait, I'm talking about this. This is wrong. I said the E. Look at me talking about Swerve and the E. I just jumped.
Man jumped to AEW.
Okay, sorry. That's bad. That's bad of me. I should have done that. That's a sin bin. So Trick Williams and Trick Williams at the moment. That's the one.
It's hard to say breakout for this person, but I think Liv Morgan is very important when she returns. That's like my outside bet. We'll see. Cool, guys. Thank you for joining us for this first edition of the E. Like I said, Tuesdays 9 p.m. we will be here every week. If not us, then you might see another member of the team. You might see guests here. Let us know if there's anyone particularly you want to see. And any day we're not here, might be a day early or whatever the case is, a day late. We'll be giving you this every week. And like I said, it's available on your podcast platforms as well. In case you miss it, you want to listen to it there as well. So we will be back next week. Same time, same place, and hopefully some good fallout from both New Year's Revolution on SmackDown and next week's Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and NXT as well.
And NXT as well, of course.
Yeah.
Cool. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to WRESTHINGS, and we'll see you later.
Peace.